Good evening, and thank you for joining our broadcast. Our top story this evening, the felony criminal mischief case has been dismissed against the 54-year-old Fbx chiropractor who had been accused of setting off the explosion earlier this month in the Chino Ridge area. Alaska State Troopers said there was evidence that Guy Menino detonated the blast and brought the felony charge under the theory that blowing up more than 300 pounds of explosives put more than $100,000 in property at risk. However, a local grand jury disagreed last week and did not indict him. Because the grand jury failed to indict, the state cannot again pursue the case unless new evidence comes forth. Now, late Friday evening, the news center had been informed by officials with the Alaska court system that Menino had actually been indicted in the case. That erroneous information was aired on our Saturday newscast. With the criminal case now dismissed, Menino also had over $5,200 in bail returned as well. The cities of North Pole and Fairbanks, as well as the Fairbanks North Star Borough, will be the first in the state to implement the Smart 911 network. Smart 911 allows citizens to create a safety profile of vital personal and household data, which can be immediately viewed by 911 call takers when citizens place an emergency call. The safety profile can include household members and pets, photos, medications, or medical conditions, and other information pertinent for appropriate response by emergency responders. Smart 911 is a free service available to all residents and is 100% private and secure. Emergency operations officials will demonstrate the service to members of the media tomorrow. And of course, News Center 11 will have more on this service tomorrow. The Alaska Republican Party is taking jabs at a Democratic state senator for missing Monday's floor session. The party, in a tweet, said Senator Bill Wielechowski was busy seeking attention instead of working for his constituents. That's a direct quote. Wielechowski was in Anchorage for a Chamber of Commerce event dubbed the Great Oil Tax Debate. Now, the debate on the pros and cons of Alaska's oil tax structure featured Wielechowski and Andrew Halcrow, who is the chamber president and a former state house member. Wielechowski was also here in Fairbanks Monday evening talking oil taxes as well. Wielechowski has been one of the most vocal supporters of Alaska's current oil tax structure and a critic of Governor Sean Parnell's plans to overhaul the system.
I don't think we should be giving back billions of dollars for the legacy fields. So that's the fundamental disagreement. I'm not willing to compromise that. If the oil industry is able to prove to me that we somehow need to do that, I have yet to see the proof. Until I see that, the Constitution requires me to get the maximum benefit for our resource. I have anyone yet to prove to me that giving away billions of dollars with no strings attached to do something for which you're already legally obligated to do is somehow in our best interest. It's just a terrible public policy, in my opinion.
A late Monday evening structure fire on the city's south side caused moderate damage to a two-story home. Fairbanks City Fire and Rescue officials got the call just before 6 p.m. responding to 1235 Wild Rose Avenue. When firefighters arrived, they entered the dwelling and found fire in the kitchen. The fire was brought under control and extinguished within minutes. However, flames had extended into the attic and damaged parts of the roof as well. No one was seriously injured in the fire, but one of the occupants received minor burns to their hands while trying to extinguish the fire. Investigators say the fire was most likely caused by a pan of cooking oil left on the kitchen stove.
Here's what happens. People will start cooking and they'll walk out of the kitchen to answer the phone or watch something on TV or something distracts them. And it only just takes a matter of seconds before whatever they're cooking can catch on fire. So basically, we tell people if you have to leave the kitchen, turn the stove off, take the pan off the burner. If you're in there and you're cooking and for some reason the pan catches on fire, don't try to move it. Take a pot lid or a pan lid and put on and smother the fire and whatever. Do call 911.
It's fantastic advice. Okay, when we come back, we'll share part 2 of News Center 11's Stephanie Woodard's report on homelessness in the interior. Also, in our health report, weight loss after 50. Those stories next. Stay with us.
This edition of the Fbx Evening News is brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites. Spadard Builder Supply, Denali State Bank, your community bank, and by Napa Alaska Stores, Napa Know-How.
Last night, we began a look into the homeless population of Fairbanks and the different struggles they face. Tonight, News Center 11's Stephanie Woodard continues the series.
I wish I had a picture of what I look like. You'd say, oh, God, just get a job, clean up, it's not that easy. everyone has a story and there's no hope.
But that's how lost I was. That's just not how I am as a person.
When I come home, I was a different person. You know, I didn't trust nobody. You know, I didn't feel like I had a problem. It took me from '05 till recently, probably about a year ago, to realize that I had a problem, to seek help.
It's an issue that is not getting any smaller. Homelessness across the country is growing, and particularly in the interior. Places such as the First Presbyterian Church Youth Shelter, the Fairbanks Rescue Mission, and other emergency shelter providers have seen large numbers of people in need of a warm place to stay.
We served over 900 individuals in 2012. So that was many more bed nights, but that was 900 individuals that found themselves in need of shelter and came to us. So that's a lot of people. And then there's a lot of homeless that don't come here.
After speaking with 3 homeless individuals for this series, one common factor in each of them was their want to get out of the situation.
And the Genesis and my AA program gave me hope, gave me a self-worth. And I'm able to pick myself up now and contribute back to society instead of taking away from society, where they would be paying for me to be either in jail or in detox, in the hospital, going round and round.
The feeling of hopelessness captivates the homeless, and they feel as though they cannot beat the cycle. By seeking help and determination, homelessness is something that can be beat.
When I first walked through those doors, I felt hopeless. Like I was never going to get my kids back. And now I have hope again.
The fear of being labeled is another issue that can keep a homeless individual on the streets. The new generation of veterans has struggled with this.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. That was my main situation. Being in the younger generation, the guys that are coming back, they're scared. I mean, I was scared. Don't be scared to ask help, because help's here.
A total of 15 people have applied to fill the Fairbanks North Star Borough School Board's vacant CG. Earlier this month, Board Vice President Sharon McConnell resigned due to known absences she planned in the coming year. Last week, the school board officially accepted her resignation and immediately began advertising for applicants to fill the seat. McConnell's term was not to expire until next year. However, the appointment of a new member will only run through this year's election, at which time the remaining portion of the term will be up to voters. Each board member will forward 4 names from the 15 for consideration. Interviews are scheduled for this Saturday. Now, the selected applicant will be sworn in Monday. If you think it's harder to lose weight after you turn 50, you're right. There are scientific reasons for it, and the good news is there are still ways to battle the bulge. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has details now in this week's health report.
After women turn 50, their hormones change. Studies show it becomes harder to lose weight because levels of the hormone cortisol rise.
Lean muscle mass will also start to decline. And the reason why that's important is that muscle is then replaced by fat.
Julie Landholt watched helplessly as her weight creeped up over the years. After trying different diets on her own, she finally joined a group. Here she gets a personalized calorie plan based on her BMI. She takes group classes with a nutritionist, learns recipes for shakes and meal plans.
How many calories you should have during the day, how much protein you should have, what does a normal portion look like.
Tips for losing weight after age 50. Watch caloric intake through beverages. Alcohol is a big culprit.
Those couple hundred calories that come from alcohol on a daily basis can translate easily to 10 pounds over the course of the year.
Use meal replacement strategically to restrict calories. Join a group to get support and accountability. Most important, weightlifting or weight-bearing exercise that builds muscle.
There are studies that show 30 minutes of walking a day, 5 days a week, is sufficient to prevent certain disease states.
Julie's been in the program 13 weeks and has lost 27 pounds so far. She plans to keep going.
It's a big improvement, and it only gets better.
Although it may have been harder to lose the weight initially, building muscle will shift the balance of hormones so you don't store fat as easily and keep the weight off. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
Talking with Joe Cook, and as we approach March, obviously March Madness basketball and hockey here in the interior, but also skiing. I mean, this is the time for it right now,
yeah,
right?
It really is, and we sat down yesterday with a Mr. Max Donaldson, the ski meister at West Valley. He's back for winning a state championship in cross-country skiing. We have some dog mushing going on in North Pole. We have that and a lot more coming up in sports.
Brought to you by the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this evening, bringing you some sports. Over the weekend, the West Valley Wolfpack boys won the cross-country ski state championship in Anchorage. It was the first title for West Valley since 1993. Leading the way was sophomore Max Donaldson. Donaldson earned the Ski Master Award, which is given to the top overall skier. Donaldson's the first West Valley ski meister since Andrew White did it in 1982. That was 31 years ago. Yesterday, I sat down with Donaldson and talked about his recent achievement and the upcoming Junior National Cross Country Skiing Championships in March.
Well, it took it a while to sink in, but it's definitely pretty cool. It's an honor to be able to be first, and didn't expect it, but it's pretty sweet. We knew it wasn't impossible, and we also knew that the Anchorage teams weren't as strong at skating, and we're a particularly strong skate team, so we knew there's a chance.
Now you got the Junior National thing coming up. How have you been preparing for that? Did this state meet, prepare you for, this big meet coming up as well?
It definitely gave me a new outlook. Gave me a little confidence. I can shoot for more podium finishes next weekend.
And high school March Madness is just around the corner, but there are conference and regional championships to be had. First, starting Thursday, the 3A Aurora Conference Tournament will be in Valdez, featuring the Hutchinson Hawks, Monroe Rams, Galena, Allison Ravens, and Delta Junction Huskies. The 2A Interior Conference will have their tourney in Glen Allen, who's the top seed in both girls and boys brackets. Effie Cochran is third behind Nenana. The Warriors play Sioux Valley Thursday morning. Boileau Hall will be the site of the 1A Golden Heart Conference Tournament hosted by Husilla. Minto is the top overall seed in both girls and boys brackets as well. The MAC Conference Tournament starts next week on March 8th at West Valley. And concluding over the weekend was the ASHA State Hockey Tournament, featuring Midget 16U and Bantam 14U Tier 1 teams from Anchorage, Mat-Su, and Fairbanks. Unfortunately, the NAHA Grizzlies and 14U lost 3-1 to the All-Stars in the title game, and the Arctic Lions and 16U didn't get to the championship. That was between the Junior Aces and Mat-Su Eagles on Sunday, and it was a peculiar game. It was scoreless in the second period until the Aces scored on a power play. That's pretty much how they won this game. Mat-Su just lost composure, committed multiple penalties in the period, which led to 5 goals, 4 of them on power plays. The Junior Aces win 6-0 over Mat-Su, the ASHA 16U tier title game. After impressive performances that earned a women's NCAA Central Region title and a men's runner-up finish, the Nanook ski team will be sending 5 skiers to the NCAA Ski Championships. Representing the women's team will be sophomore Allison McFeeters of Anchorage and senior Crystal Pitney of Fairbanks. For the men's team, they will be sending the young boys, sophomores Jonas Loeffler and Logan Hahnemann, and freshman Michael Fehrenbach qualified. There will be 5K to 20K races during the championships on March 7th in Middlebury, Vermont. And today in North Pole, the official site of the International Federation of Sled Dog Sports, or the IFSS, kicked off the 2013 Winter World Championships with the Junior North American Championships. So far, 26 mushers have registered across the 1 to 6 dog classes. The Junior Championship started around 12:30 today. Continue through Thursday. There's international flavor with young mushers from Canada and Sweden. The IFSS World Championships will have ski dog skeezering, polka events, and as well as sled sprint and mid-distance events. The IFSS will be in the interior throughout March, with events happening in North Pole, Salsa, Mushers Hall, and Fairbanks in the downtown area. For the last events, March 15th through the 17th. For more information on the IFSS World Championships hosted by the Interior, go to the sports page on webcenter11.com. And a last note here, with their split against Michigan State, the Nanniks are the CCHA 6 seed and will host a playoff game on March 8th. Right now, the Spartans could be back in the Carlson Center for the playoffs, but either way, the Nanniks are in. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. And stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at weather. Did you see the moon last night? It was incredible, and one of our viewers was able to capture it. As you can see here, Tom Schneider was out there. It's almost daylight. It's so bright out there. Beautiful full moon. And again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send to me at MikeSchultz@KTVF11.com. Here's what's going on at the airport right now. Just a few high clouds out there. 9 degrees after a high of 18. The low last night, 20 below. There's your record high and record low. Sunrise, 8:10. Sunset after 6 o'clock, 1 minute after to be exact. Daylight works out to 9 hours and 50 minutes, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. What's going on in our satellite picture? We'll show you that just a little bit. Once again, we have an air quality index problem going on. North Pole has unhealthy situation right now, and Fairbanks is unhealthy for sensitive groups. So hopefully things will be better tomorrow. Here's that satellite picture. Look at all the moisture flowing from the east to the west. That's kind of unusual, but it's all staying down south of the Alaska Range, and that means that we're just going to be looking at high clouds and temperatures continuing to warm because the flow, for the most part, coming out of the south. Now, what's going on across the rest of the state? As you can see here, looking at clouds and showers over southeast Alaska, showers around Kodiak, also some snow showers around Cold Bay, and some snow around Bethel. Not too bad at Nome. Barrow, 10 degrees below zero, and Fort Yukon, clear skies and 3 above. Lower 48 weather. Again, we're talking about the big storm that moved across the Central Plains into the Chicago area. It is now starting to break up, not nearly as strong as it was, but it's still showing up pretty good on the satellite radar. You can see the circulation right about here moving across the Chicago area earlier, and now it's starting to move across the Great Lakes. Next system, not nearly as strong, moving on the Pacific Northwest. The overall jet stream, once again, taking a lot of cold air over the eastern side of the country, all the way down to the Gulf Coast states. While out to the west, things look pretty good. So snow showers expected across the Great Lakes. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. In the northern sections, cloudy skies at Barrow, scattered clouds for Nome, and sunny skies at Fort Yukon. And over the the interior sections, mostly sunny at Fairbanks, warmer and partly cloudy for Healy, and over the southeastern sections, we'll be looking at mixed rain and snow for Juneau and Ketchikan, while over to the most southwest, mostly cloudy in Bethel, cloudy at Cold Bay, rain and snow for Kodiak, and over south central regions, isolated snow for Anchorage, rain and snow at Homer, and snow in Valdez. Well, today the ice park opened up. I had a chance to talk with the executive director, Dick Brickley, and here's how that went.
Well, can you believe it's finally here? Oh, you bet. It's and the great weather. Thank you very much, Mike Schultz. We appreciate that.
I take no credit for the weather, believe me. Though. Let's talk about what you have to offer this year.
Well, we have 40 teams in the single block from all over the country. They're carving now. They started at 9 a.m. this morning. They'll finish up Thursday night at 9 p.m.
And of course, the kids are going to be in heaven this year because you've really expanded the park, and the slides are incredible this year.
The length of the slides is about 132 feet, just the length of the actual ice. And so with a run out, they could go about 300 feet, but we have a clear area. We made sure of that. So it'll be a real thrill to them.
And tomorrow night, we'll talk with some ladies who've come a long ways to help volunteer. Looking at our kids' weather, all the kids this week are from Weller Elementary School. And tonight, a young man with a picture to share with us.
And this is my weather picture. It is about a farmer in an unfortunate thunderstorm, and unfortunately his pig got frightened by lightning, and in that result the pig did not eat for another 5 days.
That pig did look frightened. Okay, tomorrow night, a young lady will be here to ask a question about snow. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 12 below, scattered high clouds, not as cold as last night. And tomorrow, we're looking at lots of sunshine and above normal temperatures continuing. And the extended forecast shows those above normal temperatures once again all the way through the 5-day period. No precipitation expected. Daytime highs will be right around the 20-degree mark. Overnight lows right around 0 to 5 above. And for this time of year, this is great. And the long-range Daryl and Joe shows no signs of change. Temperatures even possibly warmer next week.
Wow. And you know, I've noticed something too with the bright light, sunlight. It's actually melting in a few places.
Yeah, I saw some dripping today, quite a bit.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen on the ice.
These sculptors were thrilled today with the weather.
Oh, good. Good, very good. All right, thank you, Mike. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us. Now, before we leave, we'd like to say congratulations to the Women of Distinction class of 2013. That was announced earlier today by the Farthest North Girl Scouts Council. Blah, got it out. The class consists of Sue Hall, Patty Mongold, and Connie Parks Carl. We'll have more on this later in the week.
Well, that's great. Also remember the 2013 Interior Wedding Showcase is this Saturday at the Westmart Hotel. Over 40 vendors, door prizes, and appearances by your new Center 11 News team. It'll be a blast from 11 to 4 this Saturday. The 2013 Interior Wedding Showcase, and I'm a bachelor, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yet.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. We'll see you back here at 11.